Going live.
Um,
We're live. Hey, and welcome everybody to our first live stream. I hope you guys can see me. If you can see me, say something in the chat. If there's anybody in chat. Uh, anyway, without further ado, hey Jesse, welcome back to another
Steve,
episode.
how you doing?
Happy New Year,
Yeah,
belated New Year.
it's good to be back.
Yeah, sorry guys, we took a few minutes to get the stream live.
Yeah,
Uh,
from what I
but
can see, it's live. I'm watching it in a browser window, so
all right,
we should be
uh,
live.
we have one viewer. It's you. We're going to start this live stream um, with a moment of silence for our beloved friend and package maintainer on the AUR, Jonathan, who was responsible for over 200 packages over there. One of which being the NVIDIA legacy drivers, like 470, 390, and backwards. So we're gonna take 5 seconds of silence in his memory. To you, brother. May many others like you show up on in the Linux world. We need more people like you. Anyway, let me start by saying this is since this is our first live stream. Um, it's we're starting it with a bang. We're going to be at the end of the 45 minutes. It's going to be a 45-minute podcast episode this time around because we need to dedicate another 45 minutes to play a game.
Yeah, super excited
Uh,
about that. Got
and the
some.
game is Red Eclipse. We tried it yesterday on a test stream. It was fun, but we were being massacred because we're just casual gamers. We're not actual gamers. But I need to ask the chat. How's our stream? Is there any delay? Do you notice any delay? Because I can see a little bit of delay on the OBS.
I think that's mostly just going to be the recording lag because we know what we're doing real time.
Yeah, but I want to see if what stream is perfect. Okay.
Gamer King says it's good. Hip Dad's here. Hey,
Hey,
welcome,
Hip Dad.
guys.
Welcome, guys, to our very first live stream. I hope everything is going all right. I didn't have a chance to play the intro with the music because I cut it too close where I was building the kernel and installing the TKG kernel.
Like a true Linux nerd. I mean, if you're gonna push it close, a kernel build is fair, I think.
Yeah. So
Sorry, there's a
yeah,
fire truck going by my house. You might
yeah, I can hear that. It's nice. It's like ambient sounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna need some medics when we go play Red Eclipse because we got our asses kicked yesterday.
Yeah. I hope they don't kick us off the servers once we join.
I don't think so. They're just gonna laugh because we're not very good, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, what happened in the Linux world since the beginning of the year till now for 13 days? And I know, guys, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, it's fine.
You're all you supernatural people who believe in the supernatural and whatever. I don't believe in such things, so I'm good.
So
uh,
I was reading an article this morning actually that I didn't get it to tell you about.
what article?
I just barely skimmed it over, and I'll have to send it to you so we can put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But I was reading that the Linux kernel is phasing out the RNDIS drivers for
The?
virtual USB Ethernet devices. You would have seen it with mobile tethering with a
Yeah.
cable,
Yeah.
and I guess they're only using native Linux protocol for it now and dropping support for the RNDIS because apparently it's really insecure and you can just have a bad time.
Oh, definitely. Recently, they've been pulling a lot of drivers, support for a lot of drivers due to security issues, and it's for some reason it's all starting with Fedora. Fedora pulls, everybody pulls, and we're not talking about the X-Rater pulling out. We're talking about pulling out the drivers.
Well, I guess Fedora is getting it from Red Hat and CentOS. So I think we're going to probably see a general tightening up all across.
Yeah, especially that 90% of what Arch uses or any any Linux distro is using comes first from the Red Hat, then trickles down to whatever distro is being used. Right. But other than that, I read a lot of articles about Fedora having new spins.
More new spins?
Yes, Budgie being one of them.
Well, Budgie is near and dear to my heart, so.
Yeah, which reminds me, how's ZeroG doing with you?
ZeroG is doing fantastic. I just did a fresh install yesterday, or the day before, because I wanted to see how it felt after I built it with your instructions, and it was great.
And building didn't it went without a hitch, and everything is working. Because I need a lot of a lot of users to understand that the tool works. The ABS tool, the Arch ISO build tool works fine. If you are having any issues, it must be on your end, because I had 2 users. For some reason, when it reaches the step where it's checking if Arch ISO is installed and which version, it just fails at that step for them because it couldn't connect. No, because it couldn't connect to the internet for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah. So
the only thing that I did not like was having to be on an Arch-based distro to build it in the first place.
Unfortunately, we cannot do anything about that.
Right. It's
because
a great tool, but like if we wanted to have, say, a Windows user come over to ZeroG, we just don't have that.
Oh, here's where it gets interesting. They don't need to be on an Arch-based distro on the desktop as a host. They can just install Arch in a VM and build it. Granted, it's going to take 20 times longer to build because, a virtual machine is virtualized.
You know what I think I want to test then? We should test it under Arch installed, because you have Windows as well, right?
Yeah.
Are you on 11?
Yeah.
I want to see how it builds under WSL2 instead of.
Oh, good idea.
That's probably the way I would have a Windows user do
because WSL has full access to your hardware.
Yes, so it'll be closer to bare metal. I think that's the way I would do it if I was on Windows. What do you guys think in the chat? Would you be comfortable installing WSL2 instead of, say, VirtualBox or something like that on your Windows? How would you do it?
And to answer Teddy, I don't understand why I have 2 zero hellos in the app menu. A lot of reviewers noticed that.
Yeah,
but
I've seen that too.
Yeah, I don't know why it's pulling 2 .desktop for some reason. I'll have to check with the developer of the app. Thanks for the heads up. But
Teddy is bringing up the same same WSL as well. So I think we're onto something there.
Yeah, WSL is like building on something like Linode, only it's local.
Right. So it's not going to be exactly bare metal, but probably a lot closer.
I know. What's his name? Chris Titus Tech made a video on how to access Linux partitions on Windows. The way you do it is with WSL2, you share it.
Right. But the only drawback is that you have to basically install a whole distro to mount a partition. But
you don't need to install a whole distro. Yeah, it's a bad idea to I didn't want to insinuate that when I said you have to be on an Arch-based distro. What I meant was you have to be on whatever Arch.
Sure.
It could be it could be, now that you mention it, it could be WSL2. It could be any sort of Arch. What? Oh, Hip Dad, Windows sucks longer.
Yeah.
Oh, Hip Dad, you crack me up.
Oh yeah.
He's my favorite clown.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta say, just a few minutes in already, and the live format and being able to interact with people that are listening or watching what we're doing. This is a lot of fun. I like this.
Yes, that's why I would like to announce to people, since it's going so well, if we reach the end without any issues, Zero Bytes will be a weekly live podcast every week, and we agreed on a time.
Yeah.
It's going to be on every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Starting next week onwards.
Really excited.
It's awesome to see people in the chat and having to answer their questions, because we can't always come up with the topics for the podcast. So the viewers will help us come up with some.
Yeah.
But continuing on the Linux talk before we start gaming, I want to start talking about the how ZeroG has been doing so far. Well, I'm glad to announce I have reached almost $700 because of ZeroG, and it's doing very well. It's apparently, and to my surprise, more stable than KDE. I don't mean by desktop environment, I mean by hardware support.
Yeah.
It supports Wayland on NVIDIA better, it supports Pipewire better, Bluetooth devices better.
Yeah. It's definitely been a better platform when I stream without you, actually.
Yeah.
It's just ZeroG addressed all the concerns that I had about Zero for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of people mentioned who got it said the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like for some odd reason, although the same packages for basically drivers and Bluetooth and so on are the same between KDE and GNOME, but apparently GNOME supports it better than KDE does. I don't understand how, but oh well, I'm learning.
Is it using the same implementations of things like dbus and all that too?
Yeah, the only difference between the Zero KDE and ZeroG is the KDE packages are gone, and the GNOME packages replace them.
Well,
so,
sure, but I mean,
I didn't do anything to the config.
No, but
I didn't do anything to.
We do know that Kwin can be temperamental at the best of times.
Yeah, that's without saying. But I'm talking about hardware support. How can the hardware be supported better on GNOME than KDE if the same drivers and backend stuff are being used on both ISOs?
Because it's still GNOME interacting with it on the surface level.
Interesting. I'm learning new things, but yeah, GNOME is proving to be more stable.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you, Gamer King. So, Steve, our names are missing.
Oh, yeah, I did that on purpose. After 5 episodes, people remember our names, and I say, hi, Jesse, you call me by my name, so no need for names anymore. Because every time I change layout, I have to re-add them. I'm too lazy. So, thank you, Gamer King, but I'm going to say something in Arabic, so excuse me, guys. It's only targeted to Gamer King. معلش ليدي. Done. So, with that being said, yeah, ZeroG is doing better than I have ever expected it to. Although I came to it after having forgotten everything about GNOME. I used to have a GNOME edition back in the day. It was so heavily customized, it was unstable. But
it's so funny, after you and I started working together more, it's very, very funny to have heard you say, even on stream with me, that there will never be a GNOME edition of ZeroG.
okay, shoot me.
No, it's fun.
Never say never.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
An episode
And
about that.
and since it's our first live episode, I would like to announce something new. There's a possibility, don't take my word for it, there's a possibility, it's in the cooking phases right now, it's in the decision making phases. XeroLinux might end up having community spins.
Oh.
We're starting off a little bit on the light side with Awesome WM.
You did say you were, for this year, you were going to be focusing on window managers and learning those.
Yeah, but except community editions will be created by contributors to the project and maintained by them, not by me. All I do is build the ISO, host the packages, but support and everything that comes with it is provided by the contributors themselves. So we're starting. I saw a video today showing off what can be done with Awesome WM, and I'm currently discussing it with someone on my server. Maybe, if all goes well, this will be the first community spin of XeroLinux. But don't expect me to provide support for it, because that's not going to be created by me, just hosted by me. The rest is on the contributor. If they want to provide support, all good. If they don't, well, it's up to the users to figure things out. But we're working on the idea. It's not yet confirmed,
Does that mean Budgie's on the table too?
No, I'm not going to say never. I'm just going to say not currently. Right now, it's more WMs. Okay. Because we already have 2 desktop environments. Right. We want to branch out into.
Really just absolutely killing it right now.
Yeah. And I saw a video today about that Unity 7.7 Community Edition for Ubuntu is coming.
I'm actually really, really excited about
that. Sound too low for you. It's because I have. Okay, it should be better now.
Okay, can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah, but I lowered the volume for desktop audio because we were playing a game. It was too loud.
Oh, right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm really excited for Unity coming back. I liked it. Yeah,
and to think that it's a kid maintaining it.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
A kid, a 12-year-old kid. Hey, I'm like, wow.
Get that kid a job at Canonical. Like,
he's now Unity is now an official spin of Ubuntu now.
Yeah, I think that's really, really cool. And the code base for Unity sat like unmodified for a long time.
Yeah,
when he was first bringing it back.
And the reason for that was because the users stopped using it as much as they used to.
Yeah. Well, Ubuntu shifted back towards GNOME, so.
And I am here live on stream going to say admit how wrong I was about GNOME.
Oh.
I don't usually admit my wrongs, but I was really, really wrong about GNOME. At least they have proven this time around with GNOME 43 that GNOME matters.
Yeah.
And
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're amazing. And okay, it's not for the tinkerers. It's not for the people who like to mess around with their system. It's for people who just want to use their system.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is the whole.
It's really, really good for that. But I'm gonna take a step back so we can have your mandatory 5 minutes about libadwaita.
No, I'm not gonna talk about libadwaita. But now I'm starting to understand more and more the reason for GNOME's existence. GNOME's exists only for those people who just want to install their OS and get up and running without having any issues. But with that being said, if you start tinkering with that system, expecting it to have a lot of customization options, you're in for a bad time.
That's true. GNOME extensions go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, like PopShell. I was going to include PopShell for the next release of ZeroG. Although PopShell, if you build the Git version from the AUR, it still has some bugs.
Did you build the System76 driver and all that first?
It includes System76, Pop something, Pop shortcuts, and other dependencies. Yeah, I built those.
Because you actually have to. There's some weird dependencies. I didn't tell you, but I actually tried Pop OS a little while back, and I really, really, really like how it handles Optimus. I like how it handles laptop power management, and given that a second try might be a good idea for people like myself and you in a few months are going to have an Optimus machine. So I'm gonna say we should probably put a pin in that and come back to it when you have the hardware.
Yeah, but the PopShell, the extension, still has bugs with GNOME 43.
Yeah.
What the developer of PopShell did was just unlock the ability to install it on GNOME 43, but he didn't modify the code much. So some bugs are expected.
Right.
That's why I decided to wait it out until GNOME 44 in March. Or early April, because I wait for the second dot release.
Yeah.
And see if PopShell works and the guy updated it. I will test it before including it. If it doesn't work, I'll wait until it's updated, because there's no sense in releasing ZeroG with the same stuff. I just need to add PopShell, modify a few settings on the back end, and then update it. Update the code so people build the updated version. But until then, the ISO will remain the same. I'm not touching it. It will be. This is how it will be provided. So
I think if you download, I've seen some security updates in the last day or so.
Yeah, there's a lot of updates, but I'm saying for the people who donate to get the ISO, they will have a lot of updates to do before after install. I mean.
Well, so you're doing
especially that. Mesa
right?
got updated. Yeah, Mesa got updated recently. So this is very important because GNOME uses Mutter, and if Mesa and Mutter are not in sync, it will have a few issues like KWin, like Mutter will crash or stuff like that. But other than that, I'm learning a lot about GNOME. GNOME is so easy to once you follow their philosophy, it's very easy to play around. You stick to their philosophy, don't mess a lot with extensions, and use it as is. It's super easy. It's super simple, and now I understand the lack of features in the desktop environment. Like Nautilus doesn't have a lot of options, because it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be used as a file manager,
right?
Not like an advanced tool to do anything. If you want advanced, there's a lot of other file managers you can install from anywhere.
Well, that's the beauty of Linux. There's always a tool to do what you need to do.
Yeah. So I love GNOME. It's my secondary desktop environment. Whenever I feel I'm in a bind, I just install GNOME. I know I can get up and running within minutes.
Yeah.
Especially that with your recommendation for backing up OBS settings to Google Drive, that saved my hind.
Well, I mean, since I'm all, I have so many different OSs that I play with, I had to do it because, if I'm in the middle of screwing around and I have a stream to do, I need to pull that config quickly.
Yeah.
So that's and I mean, you too. We're both tinkerers.
Yeah, and speaking of tinkering, I've been using this website called Photopea or Photopea, however you want to pronounce it, because I come from I'm a Photoshop user, and I hate those people who keep comparing what's it called, GIMP to Photoshop. I want to strangle them
We've
because it
been
has
doing that
nothing.
for what, 20 years now, and it's just not the same.
It's not the same. If you expect a Photoshop user to launch GIMP and be up and running in seconds, no,
No,
it's not going to happen.
GIMP's layout has always felt very cumbersome. I don't like it.
Yeah, and the layers and the way of doing things is
Right, I mean, but
so
Photoshop does layers too, but it's done better.
differently. Yeah, in Photoshop, it's much easier to understand, especially for people who come from Windows.
Yeah.
Uh,
If I had to use GIMP, I would go back to Windows. It's so bad.
with Photopea, it's a clone of Photoshop, straight up clone of
Yeah.
Photoshop. Uh, what I did was I installed Web App Manager. It's an app on the Arch repositories, and then you create a web app because it allows you to create a web application. You just use photopea.com and then open it. And what I love about Photopea is you can access your Google Drive directly from within the app. So what I did was, once I created the web app, I gave it the Photoshop icon and called it Photoshop. Because it's a straight up clone. It's a straight up clone.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to create the thumbnails for my videos. It saved me.
Yeah. A lot of
Before, yeah, I had to switch to Windows, use Photoshop, come back to Linux. Now I don't have to.
I hear nothing but good things. I think I'm going to give it a try. It's definitely a lot of people in the Twitch community use it.
Yeah, and the only annoying part of it, because it is at the same time proprietary, because there's no open source behind it. It's just a website, and it has a lot of ads. To remove the ads, you have to pay.
Right.
So, but using ad blockers, you end up with an empty space on the side. You won't see the ads, but the space is empty, so you cannot get rid of it. And you will get constant annoying pop-ups telling you, "Oh, you've been in the app for so and so long. Do you want to support us by paying $3 a month or something?" I don't see those anymore. I got so used to them. I just don't see them. I just hit enter without. Whenever I get that pop-up, I hit enter, continue working. To everything that is awesome, there are a few caveats here and
Sure.
there. But it saved me a lot of hassle it saved me from having to learn something from scratch, which would have taken much longer.
Did you ever use Krita before Photopea?
Yeah, Krita is more like Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, I've heard that people get along better with Krita than they do with GIMP.
Yeah, I tried Krita, but I couldn't understand. It's more like a paint tool. It's paint brushes, and I don't draw. I just edit pictures. Hey, Sprungles.
Yeah. Hey, chatters, what do you guys use for your image management and creation? What do you guys do? Because we can't be the only two people making graphics under our Linux distros.
And why are you called Springles over here? Are you the chips guy? Anyway, while we wait for a response. Gamer King, you use GIMP.
Huh. Okay.
Good.
Holding out for the old school solution. Okay. Yeah, I found GIMP to be just horrid.
Oh, Inkscape. Yeah, Inkscape is.
Yep.
There's Inkscape. There's another one called
Photoshop CC on my phone. Okay. The other day I used Adobe Scan on my phone, and that was cool.
Adobe Scan, you scan documents and you can edit the text on them.
And you know what I was working on, so you know why I
Yeah.
had to be doing that. But yeah, it just treats your phone sensor like a scanner now.
Yeah. I have the same thing. I have an application that I pay for, but it's only $1.99. It's not
Right,
much.
right, right.
It's on iOS. It's called CamCard.
Okay.
CamCard is the last part of it says what it is.
Spent years editing on my phone, so I know. Wow, using your phone. Did you use it in desktop experience? What was that like?
Krita is more for drawings and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have done some YouTube thumbnails in GIMP, and I mean, if you have nothing else, you can get it done.
You can also use Canva, an online service.
Oh yeah, well, Canva is like a lighter version of Photopea, right? Where it's not quite a Photoshop clone,
No,
but
it's more like something you introduced me to yesterday.
what,
It's
like
more
Stream
like
Elements?
yes.
Huh. I would not have thought of comparing them like that.
Because you have templates, ready-made templates.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
You modify whatever you want in them, and you have a section where you can upload your own art to apply. So this is what I use to create my thumbnails for my videos. I just
Okay.
have a saved template that I created using their templates modified, and then I modify them as I need to. I just remove one element, put another element. And speaking of elements,
So kind of what you did to Arch.
yeah. Speaking of stream elements, in the next few days, you need to teach me because I'm getting into streaming my gaming a lot these days.
Yeah.
Today and tomorrow, I'm gonna be resuming God of War.
Nice.
I hope by next weekend, we can sit together and get my overlay while I'm gaming set up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have the intro and the pause created as I showed you, but
Yeah, well, you stole them from me. I am so glad. It's really fun though because we just have such similar aesthetics that we like. I was not surprised at all. It's a good template. It looks good.
it's an amazing template. I fell in love with it when you showed it to me.
Yeah.
And
Melissa came by while I was playing in Stream Elements the first time. She's like, "Hold on, stop! You need to change to that right now."
Well, I have to admit, I kept looking and looking and looking on Stream Elements. I noticed that the free templates they have them as a whole theme, and then they have them separated by elements. I couldn't find anything that is good. There's only the one that you showed me that is good.
I've created a monster, Hip Dad says.
Yeah, you created a monster. It's him who made me stream my games.
You know
I
what?
blame
Yeah,
him.
that's right. Yeah.
He played Diablo and World of Warcraft on Twitch, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah. So, any chance I'll be able to get you to come over and play Rocket League with me?
Rocket what? What's that?
Rocket League. So you're basically doing battle soccer with cars.
Is that like the Top Gear episode where they played with a giant ball with their cars?
Yes, kind of, yeah. But like when you make a goal, the ball explodes. There's all this ridiculous stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, so you have to kick the ball with the hood of your car?
Or the tail of the car, or you can flip the car over, or do a barrel.
Oh, the cars don't get damaged.
Oh, no.
Oh, so God mode on the cars.
Yes.
But,
Unless you run full speed into another car with your nitrous enabled, then the two cars explode and you respawn.
like, wow. Okay.
It's absolutely wild, and it works. It works with Proton under Heroic Launcher. It's an epic game, but there's no anti-cheat, and it's free to play.
It's an epic game.
Yes, it's an epic game, and it's an epic game.
Not gonna play that. I
Well,
don't
you aren't
like.
gonna install GNOME either, so I'll just keep working at you.
Okay. No, I'll just tell you why. Because every time I have a bandwidth issue.
Nice, Hip Dad. Hip Dad
What?
knows a pro Rocket League player. That's cool. You should install it and come hang out with us. Tell Steve to play Rocket
E-
League.
well, I tried. I have a bandwidth issue. I have only 600 gigabytes a month.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Well, that game's a hog. You might want to be careful then.
exactly. There's a lot. Epic, especially Epic. While I'm playing a game, there's. Oh, there you go. You just disappeared.
No,
You came back.
that was me. I made an adjustment.
Okay, so there is no way to throttle downloads in Epic the way you can on Steam. So you be playing the game and there's an update. It starts downloading the update in the background, and it hogging your internet. And
Yeah.
I used to play SnowRunner on Epic. I used to use around 10 gigs every 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, just by running the game, I was like,
10
nah.
gigs?
Yeah, Epic
What
is
resolution were you? Oh my God.
1080. The way I play all my games.
Yeah.
But because I have a 1080. Okay.
Right.
I am, for some reason, my Pebble Watch died on a Pebble Beach. My 1080 can only run 1080p graphics. So similar names for everything I have. But anyway, it started sucking a lot of bandwidth. So I was like, Epic, you're gone.
Yeah, yeah. But we
So
can't play Fortnite. We can't play
there's a lot of Epic exclusives that we cannot play because
the
of it hogging my
anti-cheat.
internet. And anti-cheat. But I was surprised, and I'm gonna pick up my jaw when I copied over God of War from Windows from a Windows drive, because you cannot play games on an NTFS drives on Linux because of the permissions issue. So I copied it over to my 2 terabyte game drive on Linux, and I launched it in Steam because I purchased the game. It ran right out of the box.
Yeah.
I didn't configure Proton. I just enabled Proton, and that's all.
Yeah.
I didn't need to use Proton GE. I didn't need to use Heroic or Bottles or Lutris or any of those.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gaming has come so far on
It
Linux.
really has.
And it's running at 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I don't need it to run at higher. I'm like, I've been playing at 60 FPS all my life. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so it runs. So I decided to stream it.
Yeah.
It took me 5 hours to kill one boss.
Hey, but you did it and you didn't cheat.
Ah, yeah, I miss my cheats.
No. We're gonna stop that.
But I don't play online. I'm a single player.
Fortnite will
But
be player. Hold on. Hip Dad says Fortnite will be playable in Linux before the year is out.
what is Fortnite?
It's a
I know what it is. I was
open
just
world.
kidding. I'm hunting for hate comments.
Oh,
I'm hunting for hate comments.
you fucking troll.
Zero, try having your internet get throttled your router. There are usually options to do that. Sprungles, you think I have a good router? I have my ISP router, which only has settings turn internet on, turn internet off. Okay, give me a better router. Give me money to get a better router. Uh, so yeah, I do with what I have.
Yeah.
So, and I love the fact that in Steam you can just pause the downloads, and in Battle.net you can pause the downloads while you're gaming.
I wonder if you can configure in Etsy hosts if there's something you can do for things going to a specific domain get brought up.
Yeah, I tried that method. There used to be a patch in the old days on Windows, but not on Linux, that added a lot of IP addresses to the and URLs to the host file.
Yeah.
But now if you do that, you can no longer log into the game.
Okay.
So they haven't updated that thing on GitHub for 8 years now. So yeah, ISP routers. Oh God, you must be suffering. Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Springles. Yes, I am. In Ireland, it was worse. In Ireland, the ISP router was a box that received the connection via coaxial connection on the back, and when you log into it, where it actually logs in is on their remote server with options to change the IP, change it from DHCP to static, and that's it. That's all the options you have. Enable Wi-Fi, disable Wi-Fi. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have something a little bit better here. I can control the latency, but I cannot limit bandwidth or anything. I can just control the latency. Yeah, I've had that ISP router for the past 22 years.
Wow.
Since 2000. Because here, internet does not move the way abroad. Right. Here, every 50 years, it jumps one generation forward. So we're still on DSL. So we need a landline to get our connection in.
Right.
So yeah. Other than that, there hasn't been much happening in the Linux world. So I think we have.
You have anything to say about your top threes before we start blowing each other up?
Well, my top threes have been just only one. It's been Photopad. I've been using it a lot.
Yeah.
To create my thumbnails, but that's about it. Guys, for everybody who tuned in live, we're gonna start the game, but it will not make it into the end of into the video once it's pushed to YouTube. The video on YouTube will end right here. So once this is done, I'll be deleting the live and re-uploading the version without the gaming section. So this is a bonus for you guys.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Live. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. You get to do fun stuff.
Yeah, I know we didn't talk too much Linux news, but thank you for hanging out. We're going to do the closing right here, and we'll see you afterwards for the gaming sesh of the century. We'll be playing a game called Red Eclipse, so you all know. Anyway, thank you for hanging in with us. You'll find me, the usual places like Discord, Mastodon, and for the time being, I'm still on Twitter. I'm gonna delete my account soon. And finally, I would like to say that currently the podcast website is under construction. That's why you see the YouTube URL instead of the podcast website URL.
Yep.
Once that's back up and running, this will be reverted back. So see you guys on the flip side.
All right.
Peace.